Start. Today we'll learn the details of all the tools which are used for fitting work. But before that, we'll try to understand what is meant by fitting. Fitting consists of two parts. Mostly they are called male and female. Both are fitted together. Both the parts have got close relation between each other. The operator who does the work of fitting is called fitter, and the work done by the operator is called fitting. It is said the workshop is incomplete without a fitter. That means in the workshop there must be a fitter for any work. Now, when you do the work of fitting, there are a lot of things. Measuring tools are used, cutting tools are used, marking tools are used, checking tools are used, measuring tools are used. Now we'll try to understand what is meant by measuring tools. Measuring tools means a tool which is used to measure length, breadth and thickness of a component is called measuring tool. There are different kinds of measuring tools. One is called linear measuring tool. Linear measuring tool means which is used to measure in a straight line. For example, vernier caliper, outside caliper, inside caliper, rule. So these are the tools which are used to measure in a straight line, linear measuring tools which are used to measure in a straight line. Then comes angular measuring tool. Angular measuring tool means which are used to measure any angle, maybe 90 degree, maybe 60 degree, maybe 30 degree. These are called angular measuring tool. Example of angular measuring tools: tri-square, which is always 90 degree, used to measure 90 degree. Then the bevel protractor, then the vernier bevel protractor. Sine bar, combination set, tri-square. These are angular measuring tools. Then comes plane surface measuring tools, means which are used to measure the parallelism of a component, means same height and all. And these are the ones we used to measure the flatness of a component. And examples are straight edge, blade of the tri-square, blade of combination set, surface gauge, dial test indicator, spirit level. There are different types of measuring tools. Adjustable measuring tool. Adjustable means which can be adjusted to any size. For example, caliper, vernier caliper, micrometer, vernier height gauge, telescoping gauge, depth gauge, surface gauge, dial test indicator, bevel protractor, universal bevel protractor. These are adjustable ones. Then there are fixed, which cannot be adjusted. Example, steel rule, filler gauge, thread pitch gauge, ring gauge, plug gauge, gauge blocks, snap gauge. These are fixed type. Then comes types of reading. There are direct reading measuring tools and indirect reading measuring tools. Direct reading means the markings or measurements are marked on the instrument. For example, steel rule. If you look at the steel rule, you will find all the measurements, all the markings. Then vernier caliper, micrometer, vernier height gauge, bevel protractor, dial test indicator, bore dial gauge. There are instruments without markings, without measurement, and they are called indirect measuring tools. Caliper, for example, caliper, divider, surface gauge, sine bar, telescoping gauge, Dremel. Then there are some tools which are accurate and which are semi-precision. Accurate means precision tools, and there are semi-precision tools. Precision tools gives you accuracy. Example, micrometer, vernier caliper, dial test indicator, bore dial gauge, vernier height gauge. These are the precision tools. Semi-precision tools, examples are steel rule, steel tape, caliper, dividers, Dremel, telescoping gauge. These are semi-precision. So we have finished about the measuring tools. Now this is the file, and we'll learn in details of the file. Okay. The definition of the file is: a file is a multi-threaded cutting tool used for removing small quantity of material, and the process of removing material is called filing. This is the file, and the parts of the file are like this. This one is face, broader. Then there are two faces. Then this is the edge. There are two edges. This is the tip. This part, blank part without tip, is called heel. And the part which is inside the handle is called tang. This is called shoulder. From here, from shoulder to the tip is called the length of the file. If you look at the face of the file, sometimes there are two rows of teeth parallel to one another. They are called double cuts. Sometimes there is single cut like this, single row. So those files are called, those cuts are called single cut. We'll learn about cuts of file. One is called single cut. Just now I told you this one row, parallel row is called single cut, and the single cut is on the edge of the file. And on the face, now if you look at this, there are two rows across to one another. So these are called double cuts. Then there is one more file with projecting out, teeth projecting out. They are called rasp file. And mostly those rasp files are used for filing wood and soft material. Then there is another cut called curved cut, like this. On the face of the file, there is the cuts are curved, and those files are called curved cut, and used to give finish to the work surface. the file is classified into 4 points. One is called length of file, one is called section or shape of file, another one is called grade of file, and the fourth point is types of card. Now, length of file. From the shoulder to the tip is called the length of file. The smallest length is 150 millimeter, or in inches it is called 6 inches, smallest length. Then after that 6 inches comes 8 inches, that is 200 millimeter, and then 250 millimeter, that comes to 10 inches. Then the last size is 12 inches. In millimeter it is 300 millimeter. So there are different lengths of file. Same file cannot be used for filing all the material. Small size of workpiece required small files. Bigger size of workpiece required bigger length of files. Then grade of file. Grade of file means spacing of teeth. There are 4 grades. One is called rough. The second one is called second cut file. Third one is called smooth. And the fourth grade is called dead smooth. Now, the rough file, the spacing of teeth will be too much, will be more. Rough file. And this rough file is used to reduce material in a shorter time, in less time. Okay. Then comes the second cut file. Second cut file, the spacing of teeth is less than that of the rough file. And that file is used to make up the finish which the rough file has not done. Means it will remove the scratches and all from the surface. Which one? The second cut file. The third one, smooth file. The spacing of the teeth is less than that of the second cut file. And this second smooth file is used to give a finish to the work surface. After using the second cut file, some scratches will be left on the work surface, and to finish those scratches, to remove those scratches, the smooth file is used. And the fourth one is dead smooth file. The spacing of teeth, spacing is very less, fine pitch than that of the smooth file. And this file is used to give smooth surface, luscious surface, like mirror surface to the work surface. Like for example, sometimes they use emery paper and all to give the finish to the paper, to the surface. Like that file is used to give the finish to the smooth finish to the work surface. These are the grades of file. 4 grades are there: rough, second cut, smooth, and dead smooth. Then cards, I told you. Cards, there are 3 types: single card, double card, and rush card, and curved card. Then let us come to the shape of file or section of file. There are 7 common files. One is called flat file. The section of this file is rectangular in shape, and all both the edges and the edges has got single card, and 2 faces has got double card. Then comes the hand file. Hand file, it is just like the flat file, rectangular in shape, but one edge is without cuts, one edge is blank. And this file is used where there is 90 degree and you don't want to, that one edge you don't want to be disturbed, destroyed, that place, this second, the hand file is used. Then comes the triangular file. It is triangular in shape. All three faces have got single card or double card. And this file is used where there is corner of 60 degree, and because this triangular file, the included angle is 60 degree. That this file cannot be used where the corner is less than 60 degree. Where the corner is bigger than 60 degree, that place this file can be used, triangular file. Then the square file. The shape of the square file is square shape. All four faces have got double cards. And this file is used where there is right angle corner and where there is right angle, or for filing steps and all. Then comes round file. It is round in shape. The section is round. And there are single cards on the curved surface. And this file is used where you want to enlarge, for example, this one, where you want to enlarge the hole and all. Then comes the second, half round file. Half round file, one face that is a flat face is there. On the flat face there are double cards, and a curved surface or segmented single teeth are there. So this file, the shape of the file is half round, and the half round file is used here like this for enlarging the holes, round holes and all. The half round file is used. Then there is knife edge file. The shape of the knife edge file is just like a knife. Sharp edge is there, and then behind the sharp edge a broader surface. And this file is used where the angle is less than 30 degrees and all. For acute angle, this knife edge file is used. Then there are methods of filing. There are 4 methods. Straight filing means filing straight as possible. All the strokes must be straight. Then there is cross filing, perpendicular to one another. File must be moved one stroke straight and the second stroke perpendicular to the first one. That is called cross filing. Diagonal filing. Diagonal filing in line with the diagonal, both sides. That is called diagonal filing. Draw filing. Draw filing. The file is held in both the hands, at both the ends, and it is just pushed and pulled on the work surface. That is called draw filing. And this method is used to give finish to the work surface. Then there is one more method called profiling. It is specially done. The profiling method is adopted when you want to get a round corner, rounded end. That is called radius. When you want to get a radius at the corner, then this file method is used. So we have finished about the file. Now let us come to another important tool, the tri-square. And this is the tri-square. This angle is 90 degree. Parts of the tri-square. This is called a stock. This is called a blade. This one is the groove is there. It's called a burr slot. And blade and stock both are riveted at 90 degree. and this is used to check 90 degree of the work surface. This is the work, it is placed like this and it should exactly fit here. Light should not pass to the contacting area. If light doesn't pass, that means the work surface, the angle is perfect, like this. There are different lengths of tri-square. The smallest size is 4 inches. Then comes 4 inches means 100 millimeter. Then the next size is 150 millimeter, that is 6 inches. The third size is 200 millimeter, that is 8 inches. Then 250 millimeter, that is 10 inches. And 300 millimeter, that is 12 inches. All tri-squares are used for measuring purpose, for measuring the angle, not for anything else. And sometimes setting the work on the wide surface to 90 degree, to perpendicular. So length is from the tip, from the end of the blade up to the inside of the stock. From here, from the end of the blade up to the inside of the stock. Okay. And the tri-squares are classified according to the length of the blade. The tri-squares are available according to the length of the blade. If you want, for example, if you want a tri-square with 5 inches stock, no, that will not be available. Means 5 inch tri-square means the length of the blade. 150 millimeter means the length of the blade. So, a good care must be taken of this. After use, thin layer of oil should be applied and kept. Then, let us study about the rule. This rule, while doing the fitting work, is used for marking purpose and for measurement. Full length of the rule is 300 millimeter. Okay. And on the top edge, there are two edges, top and bottom. Both the edges are marked, top and bottom edges are marked. On the top edge, the all millimeter metric system, and bottom edge inches or British system. And the graduations are like this. Markings are done. Every 10 division, number 1 is there. After another 10 division, number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that up to 30 numbers are there. Number 1 means 10 millimeter. Number 2 means 20 millimeter. Number 3 means 30. 4 means 40. 5 means 50. 10 means 100. 20 means 200. And 30 means 300 millimeter. Okay. And the bottom 1 means 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 up to 12 inches. Yeah. The smallest length, this one. This is 150 millimeter, 6 inches. Even on this rule, smaller one, same markings are done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 15. 1 means 10 millimeter, 2 means 20, 3 means 30, and 15 means 150 millimeter. And in inches, 1 to 6 numbers are there. Both are used for same purpose, for marking and for measurement, for taking the measurement. This is the first length, 6 inch or 150 millimeter is the first length. Then this is the second length, 300 millimeter or 12 inches. The third length is 600 millimeter or 24 inches. And the last length is 1000 millimeter, that is 1 meter. And in inches, 36 inches. All the three lengths are used for the same purpose, for marking and for measuring. Then this rule gives the accuracy of 0.5 millimeter. 0.5 millimeter. This is not for accurate measurement. Rule is not for accurate measurement. Now this one, vernier caliper. This is more accurate than the rule, steel rule. And this least count of this, the accuracy, least count of the accuracy is 0.05 millimeter, which is more accurate than the steel rule. On this, there are this part is called the main scale or beam. Then this and this is called the vernier scale. These two are called the nibs. These one are called the jaws. What is the use of the jaws? To measure outside dimension. To measure outside dimension. And the nibs to measure inside dimension, like this. And then this is there, this is called a depth gauge to measure the height or thickness of a component. The bottom, there are two edges, bottom edge all millimeters are marked and the top edge all inches are marked. The full length is 150 millimeter. Full length. Bigger lengths of vernier caliper are also available for bigger size. This one is called a flat chisel, which is used for parting sheet metal into two. There are three types of chisels. One is called flat chisel, other one is called cape chisel or cross cut chisel. One more is there called diamond point chisel. All chisels have, each one is used for different purpose. For this one, flat chisel for parting the sheet metal into two, that cross cut, especially when there are grooves and all, and the diamond point, and where there is a corner, a sharp corner to be cleared, the diamond point chisel is used. This one is called a punch, and this is used to give reference marks on the work surface, as a witness marks on the work surface. After layout, after scribbling the lines, the punch is used to punch on the scribed line for witness marks. Like if the line is not punched and by mistake the line gets rubbed off, if the punch marks are there, the punch you will come to know by the punch marks, even if you cannot see the line. So here there are three types of punches, but the this angle, point angle is different for all three, but shape is the same. Shape of all three punches is the same. Now, first one is called prick punch. This point angle is 30 degree and it is used to scribe lines on the soft metal. The second one, the point angle is 60 degree and that is called dot punch. And this dot punch is used to punch on the scribed lines for witness marks. And the third one is called center punch. This point angle is 90 degree. And that punch, center punch, is used before drilling to mark the center to be drilled before drilling. And this center punch mark is wider than the dot punch than that of the prick punch. That's why before drilling a wider punch mark is required, and the wider punch mark is done with the help of the center punch. Okay, this is the punch, see the angle of the punch. Okay? Angle of the punch, one is 60 degree, one is 30 degree, and one is 90 degree. With 90 degree punch mark, you get a wider punch mark on the work surface. And this 60 degree dot punch for marking on the lines as reference marks or witness marks. And the 30 degree is called prick punch to scribe lines on the soft metal. Next, another tool used while doing the fitting work. This is the scriber. Point angle is 15 degree. The angle is very sharp to scribe lines on the work surface. There are three types. One is called straight scriber. This one is a straight scriber. It is just like in a straight line. Another one is called bent scriber. Means here this is, and the second end there is a bend. Here. This is the bent scriber. Here. This one is the bent scriber. Here. And bend is there on the other end. And the another one is called offset scriber. And offset scriber, it is Z shape. It is Z shape. And it is specially fixed to the vernier height gauge. This here. Okay? To the vernier height gauge. It is fixed to the vernier height gauge. These are hacksaw frame and hacksaw blade. This one is called wing nut. This is the tension screw, and this is the returning screw, where blade is fixed on the returning screw and the tension screw. There are two types. One is called fixed type. This is the one. Fixed type means it cannot be adjusted. On this fixed type hacksaw frame, only one length can be fitted. And this one is the adjustable type. There is one screw here. Remove this screw, and then this can be inserted inside or can be brought outside. For this adjustable frame, hacksaw frame, is for two lengths. This is the hacksaw blade. The full length of the hacksaw blade is 300 mm. There are two lengths available. One is 250 mm, another one is 300 mm. So 300 mm can be fixed on the fixed type hacksaw frame, and 200 mm, 250 mm or 300 mm the adjustable hacksaw frame. Here. This is adjustable. Length of the blade is 300 mm, and the other parts are the same. The full set with the hacksaw blade and with the hacksaw frame is called hacksaw. Full set is called hacksaw. And here. This is hacksaw blade. There are three grades of hacksaw blade. One is called rough blade, where the pitch of the rough blade is 1.8 mm. Pitch means the distance between one teeth to the next teeth. That is called a pitch. Then the second one is called medium blade. The pitch is 1 mm. And the third one is fine blade. The pitch of the fine blade is 0.8 mm. Now, Same blade, same grade of blade cannot be used for all the workpiece. Rough blade specially used when the material is soft, and medium blade for general purpose, and fine blade when the material thickness of the material is too less. For example, sheet metal and all, the fine blade is used because the pitch is 0.8 millimeter. And for cutting the sheet metal, if the rough blade is used, then the teeth will disappear, teeth will break. And for fixing the blade, you don't have to worry. The markings are done. Nowadays, the printed blade has got the markings. Here it is written 18 TPI. This is in British. This is 18 TPI means 1.8 millimeter. Arrow mark is there. Means while fixing the blade, the arrow mark must be made in forward direction. And other details are also written there. The high speed blade, high speed steel, and for where it can be used, that is everything is. This blade, there are material of the blade is high carbon steel is there, high speed steel, and bimetal flexible blade. This is bimetal. Even the beginner can use this blade. If the beginner use the high speed blade or the high carbon steel blade, it can break at once. While cutting, if you get a twist and all, the blade can break into pieces. This one here, which is marked red, orange color, this is high speed steel blade. Even this is not good for the beginners, but it's a long lasting. But only care must be there. The one who is expert, one who is used to for hacksawing and all, can use this high speed blade. Even this can break while cutting. If you get a twist, if there is a twist, then the blade can break into pieces. This one is bimetal. Anybody can use. The skilled labor or non-skilled labor, like this. See, even if it try to, it will not, nothing will happen. You can bend it to curve, circle and all. Nothing happens to this. That's why this material, special material is used. And the high-speed material is used, chromium, nickel and vanadium. Three metals are combined together and the blade is manufactured. So this is bimetal flexible blade. Nothing happens to this. This is very good, long lasting. Beginners as well as those who are expert and all can use this. Especially good for the beginners. This is the vernier height gauge, which is more accurate for marking purpose, marking parallel lines, marking parallel of you can mark equidistant parallel lines or different gaps for marking parallel lines, and for taking the height, for measuring the height also, this vernier height gauge can be used. This one is called a universal surface gauge. This one. This is indirect, nothing mentioned there. But to take the measurement, a rule is used, and then measurement is taken from the rule and then transfer on the work surface. This is universal surface gauge, or sometimes it is called gauge block also. And this is adjustable. Now, why it is called universal? Because there are many features for this one. This one for clamping the pillar. This one called a pillar. This is called a base. This one fine adjusting screw, and this one is called a snug. This is called a scriber, which is bent one. This is the bent scriber. This after when you loosen so this is the pillar can be pushed down. Pillar can be pushed down, and it can be used as a depth gauge, just like the vernier caliper has got a depth gauge like that. And this one, these grooves are for placing on the round object. Then this groove is there V groove for placing on the V section of work, especially on the lathe machine and all. And then there are these pins are there. These pins can be pushed down, and this one is when there is any parallel straight surface, push it on the tie the dowel pins to the straight surface, but then you move. Then this will move according to the edge. Okay, like this. See. So this is not the correct one. This is not the correct one. What I am doing is wrong. But you must get a one straight edge, so that this moves parallel to the straight edge. That's why this is called. There are many features for this one. That's why this is called universal surface gauge. It is indirect. A rule is used to take the measurement. Okay. How the measurement? And this one is called a V block. V block for marking purpose. This for marking purpose. And there are grooves this is a V shaped 90-degree V groove for placing the round object on this, and there are side grooves are there. So like while marking, you can place like this, anything round which is round, and then mark. Then one clamp over there. This is the U clamp. Insert inside here, and work can be round, work can be clamped in order not to move. This is the U clamp, and the measurement is taken like this. Rule is placed and the measurement is taken like this. So required measurement, and then the thing is according to this thing mark. Yeah, measurement is taken like this. The required measurement, less or more, and then the marking is done on the work surface. So this is about the V block surface gauge or universal surface gauge and the rule.